Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 4th of June. With McShane, we work our way through Isaiah, today reading chapter 36. In it, King Sennacherib of Assyria attacks Judah, conquers various of the towns and the smaller cities, and finally the commander of his army comes with the army up to Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is well fortified and defendable for a time. And the commander stands outside the wall and insults the king, King Hezekiah, and the people, and threatens them and says, "You're going to die. You'd better give up and cross over to our side." And part of his insults that he levels at them, in verse 18, he says, "Do not let Hezekiah mislead you when he says, 'The Lord will deliver us.' Have the gods of any nations ever delivered their lands from the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim? Have they rescued Samaria from my hand? Who of all the gods of these countries have been able to save their lands from me? How then can the Lord deliver Jerusalem from my hand?" Now, the Lord could deliver Jerusalem and did deliver Jerusalem in a way that he would never have expected. But one can understand his perspective. If you assume that all the gods are the same and all gods are equal, then those other gods, they idols of stone and wood. They can do nothing. And Isaiah says elsewhere, they have eyes but they cannot see. They have feet but they cannot move. They have mouths but they cannot speak. You have to nail them down to keep them from falling over. Gods like that are completely useless. They're not going to deliver you. And so one can understand from his perspective, he doesn't know the Lord. He assumes that the Lord is just another idol, another one of these many gods that everybody else worships, who are wood and stone and can do nothing. But if he were to come face to face with the living God, he would suddenly realize it's a different story. And indeed, as we continue reading, we find the story was different for Jerusalem because the Lord did deliver them. And for me, there are two things. One is we must always trust in the Lord and recognize he can do what nobody else can. And we live in a world where people will trust in all sorts of things. And so often they will fail. And we need to recognize we have a God who never fails. And I think for me, the second thing is that we cannot equate the God of the Bible with any of the other gods of the world. The God of the Bible stands apart, stands alone. The scriptures are unique. There's so much that is different. And so today the liberal tendency is to say, well, all religions are pretty much the same and it doesn't really matter and we can all be one, and we end up having to say, no, actually all religions are not the same because there is only one God. King Sennacherib of Assyria discovered that to his own harm 2,500 years ago. The same God watches over us today. Be encouraged by that thought and know that we are blessed.